Getting into the sort of nuts and bolts of chaos magic practice, we should talk about sigils. In fact, if anything is synonymous of any ritual actions that are done by magicians, and if anything is synonymous with chaos magic, it is the work of sigils. This is the big innovation. We never saw it before the 1970s when Peter Carroll started writing about this. Sigil magic is common amongst chaos magicians. It's used by other groups quite a lot, but it's really rooted here. It's kind of a brilliant innovation that's based on the tenets of chaos magic. Now, in the past, and in many cultures, we've seen magic amulets and magic diagrams, but they don't work like this. Here, what a sigil magician does is they write out their wish in clear language. Then, and we can see this depicted in table A here, I wish to obtain the Necronomicon. They pull out all the vowels. Then they rearrange the letters, or they just get the letters there, and they put the letters into a diagram. Then they make that diagram even less recognizable. So you get a pictorial sigil. Sigil is a figure. So they meditate and they visualize that diagram in a pure way in order to charge it. They know that the diagram is based on an original desire. However, they meditate on it so much that that desire is lost and only the pure image, it doesn't have any meaning anymore. They can just hold it perfectly in their heads. Now, what do they do there? Next, they charge the sigil. They keep it in their mind during physical extreme moments, laughter, fear, frustrated sex, orgasms, urination. That charged sigil, that sigil that's held in the mind during the extreme physical activity, is then propelled outward. It's been charged by its connection to the body. So if you wanted to argue that chaos magic is merely mental magic, mental training, you're missing how much it relies on and connects to the body. You'll see some other methods here, like here's the pictorial method, where one draws what one wants to happen and then slowly abstract it for further and further and further into this like funky method. This is to restrain an adversary. So you draw the person with their name, and then you put the nails in them, and then you further abstract it out until you get this abstract thing you can meditate upon. If you wanted to use it like a mantra, I want to meet a succubus in a dream, you just start manipulating it until you get to something that's rearranged and doesn't make any sense, really. And then you would chant Hawi Amnar Kusad after you moved all this around. And the idea is that the very desire is within that mantra, those set of words, but it's also lost to the set of words, which is all just very interesting. Okay, now what are the rituals? I sort of love some of these chaos magic memes. The rules of chaos magic: 1, there are no rules. 2, nothing is true, everything is permitted. 3, belief is a tool for achieving effects. The 4th rule is the first rule with an emphasis on the 2nd and the 3rd rules. And that's just so amusing to me. So if you are responsible for the entirety of your reality, which chaos magic says, then get what you want. Change your understanding of the world and charge your brain to make the changes you desire in the world. So we read a set of rituals that Peter Carroll sets out. Now, remember that chaos is not destruction or a lack of meaning. Chaos is infinite and limitless possibility. It is unpredictable and it is mutable. Aligning with this chaos are ritual techniques that Carroll calls the rites of chaos. A mass of chaos, which we read, initiations, exorcisms, extreme unctions, and ordinations. But remember that all of these rites were designed through experiments, through practices. And when each magician takes up these practices, they start doing it exactly as it's written until they alter it, chop it up, move it around, turn it into something that's more meaningful for them. Now, reading through these various rites, we can see what they draw upon. You can see so much ceremony magic, Golden Dawn, and Thelema. When you read the initiation rite, it says so much Freemasonry in it. But any chaos magician is going to be continually altering these to make them more effective because there is infinite possibility. So you should alter yourself and the rituals to gain that infinite possibility. While chaos magic sounds like it is all chaotic, it is actually rooted in time-honored techniques. They take what's worked from the past and they toss out what doesn't. And they continue to continually experiment ritually. It's interesting now that they're starting to, when I talk to chaos magicians, they're starting to pull from Asian sources more. And I'm curious what they're going to come up with. And a part of me just cringes and goes, no, you're doing all wrong. But in their thing, it's not about a right or wrong. It's what's effective. So they're always reworking their system. It's postmodern. It's pastiche. It's bricolage. Okay, so the rituals change the self and the world, and they also grant meaning in the universe. Chaos does not mean a lack of order or a lack of understanding. It's really about connecting to boundless possibility. Think about the rituals that we have seen so far. We have seen killing and consecration, initiation, witching, anti-witching, the Gnostic Mass, all that fairy stuff in Alex Mar. After eons of magic, we are now in a new magic. And I would say that this chaos magic is the logical conclusion of the projects in 20th century neo-paganism and ceremonial magic. I mean, what is the goal of this magic, though? The goal is a perfection of the self. And that's new. When we look at all the Greek stuff and the Indian stuff and whatnot, they were not perfecting the self. All the notions of witching and anti-witching was not about personal evolution. Chaos magic is doing something different than Greek erotic magic or Indian magic or Egyptian magic. Chaos magic takes the quest of self-realization as far as possible, arguing that no tradition is actually needed. What is needed is the exertions and innovations of the individual mage. What needs to happen is you need to do magic, and you learn through doing magic. So the magician, in fact, saves himself, saves her own soul. Everything in chaos magic is about manipulating the mind, and the mind is the most powerful thing in the universe, other than the sound of a barking pug. All right. Take a break. I'll be right back.